In this video, we'll explore the psychological tricks and techniques used by master manipulators, helping you understand and recognize these tactics to protect yourself and others from their influence. Psychological manipulation is a form of social influence that aims to change the behavior or perception of others through indirect, deceptive, or underhanded tactics. Unlike persuasion, which is open and straightforward, manipulation is secretive and deceitful, often leaving the victim feeling confused, powerless, and dependent on the manipulator. Master manipulators are skilled at identifying and exploiting their victims' vulnerabilities. They use a range of psychological tricks to gain control, from subtle suggestions to outright emotional abuse. By understanding these tactics, we can better defend ourselves against manipulation and maintain our autonomy. First off, gaslighting. One of the most insidious forms of psychological manipulation is gaslighting. This tactic involves making someone doubt their reality, memory, or perceptions. The term gaslighting comes from the 1944 film Gaslight, where a husband manipulates his wife into thinking she's going insane by dimming the gas lights in their home and denying it when she notices. Gaslighting can take many forms, from outright lies to subtle distortions of the truth. For example, a manipulator might deny they said something they clearly did, or they might insist that an event happened differently than it did. Over time, the victim begins to doubt their own memory and judgment, becoming increasingly reliant on the manipulator for a sense of reality. Recognizing gaslighting is crucial. Look for patterns of behavior where you feel confused, anxious, or constantly second-guessing yourself. If you suspect you're being gaslighted, seek support from trusted friends, family, or a mental health professional to help you regain your perspective. Tactic 2. Love bombing. Love bombing is a tactic often used by manipulative individuals to quickly gain control over their victims. It involves overwhelming someone with affection, flattery, and attention to create an intense emotional connection. This sudden influx of positive reinforcement can make the victim feel special and valued, lowering their defenses and increasing their dependence on the manipulator. Once the manipulator has established this connection, they gradually start to withdraw their affection and attention, creating a sense of insecurity and anxiety in the victim. The victim, desperate to regain the initial affection, may become more compliant and eager to please the manipulator. To guard against love bombing, be wary of relationships that move too quickly or seem too good to be true. Healthy relationships develop gradually and are built on mutual respect and understanding. If you notice someone trying to rush your emotional connection, take a step back and assess their motives. Tactic 3. Playing the victim. Manipulators often play the victim to elicit sympathy and guilt from others. By portraying themselves as helpless or mistreated, they shift the focus away from their own behavior and onto the supposed wrongs done to them. This tactic can make the actual victim feel guilty and responsible for the manipulator's well-being, diverting attention from the manipulator's own actions. This approach often includes exaggerating or fabricating problems to gain sympathy and manipulate others into providing support or concessions. The real victim is manipulated into feeling that they must continually prove their loyalty or dedication to the manipulator, often at their own expense. To counter this, recognize when someone consistently portrays themselves as a victim while deflecting accountability. Consider the context and patterns of their behavior and be mindful of your boundaries. Providing support does not mean allowing yourself to be manipulated or taken advantage of. Tactic 4. Triangulation. Triangulation is a tactic where a manipulator creates a triangle by involving a third party in the dynamics of the relationship. This can be done to create jealousy, rivalry, or to align the third party against the primary victim. By doing this, the manipulator maintains control and dominance over the relationships. For example, a manipulator might praise another person in front of their victim to create feelings of inadequacy or jealousy. They might also spread rumors or false information to create conflicts between others, keeping themselves at the center of attention and control. To protect yourself from triangulation, be aware of attempts to involve third parties in personal conflicts or to create divisions. Maintain direct communication with those involved and verify any information independently. Do not allow yourself to be drawn into unnecessary drama or conflicts orchestrated by the manipulator. Tactic 5. Projection. Projection involves the manipulator attributing their own undesirable thoughts, feelings, or behaviors to someone else. By accusing others of what they themselves are guilty of, manipulators deflect blame and maintain a facade of innocence. This tactic is particularly effective because it shifts the focus away from the manipulator's behavior and places the burden of defense on the victim. For instance, a manipulator who is dishonest may frequently accuse others of lying. This not only diverts attention from their own dishonesty, but also puts the victim on the defensive, constantly trying to prove their integrity. Recognizing projection involves staying grounded in your own reality and not accepting unfounded accusations. Reflect on the accusations being made and consider whether they might actually apply more accurately to the accuser. Understanding this tactic can help you see through the manipulator's attempts to deflect blame. Tactic 6. Guilt tripping. Guilt tripping is a common tactic used to manipulate others into doing something by making them feel guilty or responsible for the manipulator's problems or emotions. This tactic can be particularly effective on people who are empathetic and have a strong sense of responsibility towards others. Manipulators use guilt tripping to control their victims by constantly reminding them of past mistakes or obligations, making them feel like they owe the manipulator something. For example, a manipulator might say, "After everything I've done for you, how could you treat me like this?" Or, "If you really love me, you would do this for me." To defend against guilt tripping, recognize when guilt is being used as a weapon rather than a reflection of genuine feelings. Understand that you are not responsible for someone else's happiness or well-being, especially when their demands are unreasonable or manipulative. Setting clear boundaries and not allowing guilt to dictate your actions is crucial. Tactic 7. Silent treatment. The silent treatment is a form of emotional manipulation where the manipulator refuses to communicate with their victim, often as a punishment or a way to assert control. This tactic creates a power imbalance, making the victim feel anxious, confused, and desperate to resolve the situation. By withholding communication, the manipulator forces the victim to seek reconciliation, often at the expense of their own needs and boundaries. The silent treatment can be particularly damaging because it erodes the victim's self-esteem and sense of security in the relationship. To counter the silent treatment, recognize it as a manipulative tactic and refuse to be drawn into the manipulator's power play. Maintain your composure and communicate your willingness to resolve issues respectfully, but do not compromise your boundaries to appease the manipulator. Seeking support from friends, family, or a therapist can also help you navigate and address the situation. Psychological manipulation is a complex and pervasive issue that can have profound impacts on victims. By understanding the tactics used by master manipulators, such as gaslighting, love bombing, playing the victim, triangulation, projection, guilt tripping, and the silent treatment, we can better recognize and defend against these mind games. Awareness is the first step towards protection. By educating ourselves and others about these tactics, we empower ourselves to maintain our autonomy and well-being. If you suspect you are being manipulated, seek support from trusted friends, family, or mental health professionals. Remember, maintaining healthy boundaries and open communication is key to protecting yourself from psychological manipulation. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of psychological tricks used by master manipulators. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and take care of your mental health. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights into the human mind and behavior.